When I first read that email, I had no idea. I don't even think I read that sentence, she's a yes scholar. That meant nothing to me, even though I'd hosted before, I'd never heard of the program.
Sat down as a family and talked about it, and the kids were open to it, and my husband and I both thought it would be interesting for all of us to have an experience like this.
There was a very strong misconception that as a Western community, values had somehow disappeared along the way.
It's not only about learning about American experiences, but also about teaching Americans about our own culture.
So my mom said, oh, you know what, you should go with yes to America. I said, oh wow, America, that's far, so.
The YES program is Youth Exchange and Study. It's a program that was initiated by the U.S. State Department after 9/11.
It's to bring students from countries with significant Muslim populations over to the U.S. to live an American life, to attend school. They're high school students.
Give these students a complete scholarship to come on an exchange program and allow them to learn about our schools, our families, our religions, in order to have them go back and have a more positive, perhaps, impression of the United States and to spread that worldwide.
And it's very selective, so you know that if you are a parent of a yes student, a host parent, that these kids have gone through numerous interviews, numerous tests to make sure that they're right.
I think what's really good too is the AFS Yes people do a very good job interviewing to make sure the kids are good fits with the families they're put with.
They live with a host family, they go to a school here in the U.S., they do all of the school activities, the family activities. They're actually part of that family and community for the year that they're here.
So I said, okay, so I signed up last year and I did through all those interviews and orientations and stuff, and I got it, and I was pretty lucky. So
some of the stereotypes that we had when we were coming here was that American kids don't like to study, or that they're really lazy, or that they're not as smart as us or something like that. And I think that's really, it's really misconception.
We sort of come from a community where modesty is very important.
Indian kids are used to more of rote learning, as it's called, where you just memorize like pages and pages of material and then you write it out word to word. Whereas out here it's more about understanding it and then just like interpreting what you understood.
We have movies like Desperate Housewives and Sex and the Cities and those kind of movies. So pretty much we have a lot of perspectives like, oh, America is like that, that's not good.
Some other stuff was that Americans are fat and like they like to eat a lot and stuff like that. That was like, as soon as I came to school I knew that wasn't true.
Well, I said to myself that I haven't been in America yet, so pretty much I want to see if it's true, then it's true. If not, then that's good. It sort of changed my whole perspective.
The kids out here who actually play a lot more sports and do a lot of after-school activities, and they're really fit. Some of the kids out here, we don't even have as many sports in India as they do out here. So I think that was another thing that became clear to me.
And I think the people are arrogant and pretty much not what I expect it to be.
To have our student body and a faculty and staff exposed to these students really is helpful in terms of us preparing the kids for the global community in which they're going to have to exist and work in.
It's what he adds to our school. When you look at religious diversity and when you look at cultural diversity, speaking as a Christian, we can learn a lot from Muslim community in terms of discipline, regimen. They have very set, strict standards and very set, strict religious philosophies. We do too in the Lutheran Church.
It's important to send American students over to our countries as well, so it's a true two-way exchange that would truly lead to understanding of different cultures. It wasn't enough for our students to learn about American culture, but American students need to also understand other cultures.
He truly has a special place in his heart for Taco Bell. So anytime we go to Taco Bell, I will think of Ankush.
It was neat seeing him experience stuff that he's never experienced before, because his eyes would just, you know, wow, this is neat.
It's just an opportunity that I just would say to anyone, don't pass it up if you can take it. It's fabulous. And I'm going to start crying here thinking of him leaving.
I'd just like to thank the school and my family. I mean, I cannot thank them enough for having someone for an entire year. I mean, it's a really big thing. And I really want to thank all of them for having me out here, and they've done so much for me, and I'll be forever grateful to them.
I'm gonna miss her and her bad jokes.
I will miss her deeply, and I think we'll always feel close to each other. You have a sense of she was your treasure, and you're giving the treasure back.
I would say that in order for you to know America, you gotta go yourself.